Good morning. Bob McGurty here, the Rickshaw Journey guy. And last week we were talking about the book and the update. And thank you for all of you who joined with me in the live and then checked it out later on YouTube and Facebook. Please add yourself to the YouTube channel. You'll get notices. Just youtube.com/Bengali Bob, and you'll get updates on that. Appreciate it. Today, I want to talk about finding your voice. And I'm going to give a little backstory on that, but it's so important that you find your voice in life, and that when you know your voice, your why, who I am and why I'm supposed to be doing whatever it is, everything changes and you move from perhaps success and you move into significance. And it's good to be successful. It's great to be significant. And significance is in finding your why. When I was in the Air Force, I had a chaplain, Dick Bestetter. Chaplain Bestetter defines success as doing in your life what the Lord would have you to do. And it's so important. So finding your voice, and let me give a little backstory of the finding your voice. And I'm going to piggyback a little bit on the book that I'm writing and also some coaching that I'm doing. But finding your voice, when I wrote my book, and and I'm still writing it, but when I began this journey and I just started, kind of talking to the recorder at night and writing it out and doing the things that I was doing, when the book, the 27 chapters were out there, I realized that there were 5 natural progressions of my book, and 5 sections, if you will. And think of the acronym ECFBI, the Executive Committee of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Executive Committee of the FBI, ECFBI. And these 5 sections, E is early voices, those things that happen really early in life. You don't necessarily have a choice on it. They're assigned to you. Someone, just dumps on you or causes you in a journey or an experience. So early voices. Then the C are confused voices, people speaking into your life or things happening. They don't make sense. They're confused. E, early. C, confused. Then let's go to the FBI. F is finding, and that's what we're going to talk about, finding your voice. The B is being your voice, and the I is influencing your voice. It's about the legacy that you live today. But finding your voice is the absolute most important thing in life. And finding your voice is really about your why. Why? I've experienced over the years people who have done well, and by all standards, they're successful, they're good, and they're at this point where they're just going, why am I even here? In 10 years or 30 years, I'm dead, and so what? And those are people who haven't found their voice, their why. Every person in the world has a why. And the first half of our life, we spend trying to find it, and hopefully we find it, and then we be it and we influence it. But finding your voice is so important. It makes up so much of us. I do believe that God himself has put a why in you, a voice in you, that you have something to say to the world, that the world needs your voice. But if you don't know your voice, if you haven't found your voice, how can you be it? And so finding your voice is so important. It can be described in a bunch of different ways. One is the intersection of what you're good at and what you have a heart for. See, you may be good at something and you cannot stand doing it. You're good. You have a natural skill, but it's not your heart. Or You may have a heart for something, but you're just no good at it. I love music, but you don't want to hear me sing. I love music. There's not an instrument I can play. My rhythm is so bad that when I was in the Air Force, instead of letting me march with the rest of the flight of Air Force of airmen, they would make me a road guard because as a road guard, I wasn't going to throw anybody off in my cadence. I mean, I still have that road guard rhythm in my head. Road guards in and road guards out, road guards running all about. If I had a face like you, I could stop the traffic to sound off. I may have a heart for music and rhythm, and I can appreciate it, but I can't sing it. I don't have a cadence. I'm tone deaf. I am literally tone deaf. And those of you that are musicians or musical experts, you may not agree, but here's why I say I'm tone deaf. I studied at the Summer Institute of Linguistics by Wycliffe Bible Translators in 1984 in Grand Forks, North Dakota. And we were working with sound, and we would go to the sound booths and put the headset on, and we were listening to Mandarin Chinese, and the language was high, mid, low, or I should say high, mid, low. We were just supposed to, raise our hand when certain sounds came or whatever the sequence was. So about 10 minutes into it, the observer came and said, "Bob, I need to change out your headset. This one's broken." So changed out the headset, came back a few minutes later, goes, "Let's move you over to this station." And again, the same thing happened. And he said to me, he said, "We say that there's no such thing as tone deaf, but I think in your case, I'll make an exception. My heart is with language and tone, but my head's not." You have to find your voice in life. You have to find your why. And the interesting thing about the book journey is when the book naturally segmented into EC, FBI, early voices, confused voices, finding your voice, being your voice, and influencing your voice. Something happened, and I began realizing that that there's a coaching model there, and we'll talk about that some other time. But if I can just wrap this up for today by encouraging you to find your voice. What are those things that you have done or said or been that people go, "That's you"? When you, and it may be serving, it may be speaking, it may be writing, whatever that is, that's you. There's just so much clutter in the world, and there's only so much time. And as much as is possible within you, find your voice. Find that place where you are your authentic self. Learn from others, grow from others, read, write, speak, but find your voice. And once you find it, you can be it and influence it. Otherwise, you're being and you're influencing, but it's not your voice, it's something else. Don't settle for less than. Find your voice. Thanks for listening to me today. I look forward to next week.